Routines and schedules are a very normal thing in most of our lives, but today we're going to talk about what to do if those routines and schedules are boring you. Welcome, everyone. I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and we talk a lot on this channel about frugal living, saving money, cutting expenses, and living your best life on less. I also talk a lot about retirement because I'm an early retiree. And so today we're going to talk about routines and schedules. They've been such a huge part of all of our lives. And many of us feel safe and secure when we have a routine and a schedule. And as humans, we tend to create schedules and routines to make ourselves feel safe, secure, know what to expect, and set priorities. But what can we do when those schedules and those routines have just become so predictable and repetitive that we are just finding ourselves disenchanted with our daily life? This video, we are going to talk about different ways that we can spice our life back up and get that excitement back in our daily living. Even in retirement, they have a disenchanted phase where people can get bored and say, is this all there is to life? What now? And that can happen even if we're working full time. And sometimes it just is like, oh, tomorrow's just another day like today. What do I have to look forward to? So, today we're going to talk about how to change that feeling so that we can get some of that excitement back. A little bit of monotony can go a long way in our daily lives. So, some of the things that we can try are changing up our schedules. We no longer have to keep the same schedule we've always kept for years. And sometimes, even in retirement, people will tend to still get up at the same time because they're used to it, still have breakfast at the same time because that's what they've always done. And then they start feeling lost with the rest of their day. And we need to look at those schedules and say, hey, what can we do to make it worth getting out of bed today? Just changing our routine can have so many advantages. It can improve our mental clarity, it can improve our energy level, and it can reduce fatigue. So, look at that daily schedule with some of the other things I'm going to suggest and see what you can do this week to get yourself out of that funk. Just setting some time aside for some well-deserved relaxation in nature can have so many benefits. Just smelling the flowers and feeling the fresh air and the breeze on our skin, on our face, hearing the birds and the other sounds of nature, sitting outside in the sunshine and feeling its warmth. So many of these things that nature offers, it is hard to duplicate in any other way. And many of us miss out on that and not realize how important it is. Some people will say, I'm just not an outside person, but it actually can help us improve our mood. It can decrease our stress. It can help us be more present in our daily lives by relaxing our mind and creating calmness. It's so important to our emotional health. Even in that short clip, didn't that just make you feel more relaxed and make you feel like you could breathe easier? That's what nature does for me. So that one is a huge one in part of my daily life is to get outside. Also, trying a new experience. It can increase the dopamine in our system. It can increase our happiness. And it can be even like trying a new hairstyle or a new color to your hair. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. So, what new experience can you incorporate into your life this month? Learning to do something new can also fall in this category. No matter how old we are, we still have that inner desire to learn and to build that self confidence from knowing that we're still capable of learning new things. I remember thinking, I'm out of school. I don't ever have to do this again. I don't ever have to learn anything else. But life is a continual process of learning. And even me starting this YouTube channel in my 50s, I have learned so much about things that I didn't think I was capable of doing regarding technology. And I have met all kinds of new friends, which has created new experiences for me. So, no matter your age, learning is always an important part of our growth. Daily exercise is also very important in keeping us out of slipping into that funk. It has so many benefits, including lowering our risk for type 2 diabetes, lowering our risk for cancer, lowering high blood pressure. It can improve our circulation, our strength. It can reduce falls. It can also improve our digestion. It can increase the strength of our lungs. There's so many benefits to exercise, including reducing our risk for anxiety and depression. So, if you can do a little bit of this every day, you will see that it actually improves your mood. Setting a new goal that we can get excited about and plan for is a great way to re energize us. That's why jobs offer us yearly vacations and sometimes more often than that because they know that we need a re energizing period. And it's no different if you're retired or if you are just bored with your daily routine. Setting a goal, setting a plan can be a great way to give us new energy in the days ahead. New experiences can be so important. I know when I was working, I sometimes would get bored with my job. Once I learned how to do it backwards and forwards, and I didn't feel challenged anymore, I was looking for a new job. Another way to change up our energy level and to stop us from being so bored with life is to change our environment, change our daily routine. Rearrange that bedroom or living room or pull some clothes out of the closet that you haven't wore in ages to make yourself feel different that day and change up that boring routine. Having a social life is also very important. Some of us will fall into that boring routine and forget that we really do need people. Sometimes we think we don't need people, but reconnecting with friends and maybe having everyone bring in a carried dish or going to somewhere that you've been invited to that you would have normally turned down, all of those things can give us new energy by being around other people. Sometimes when we fall into that funk and we don't want to leave the house and we don't want to see anyone, it can lead us into feeling depressed or anxious or bored with life. And sometimes just changing up who we see can give us a better outlook and more positivity in our lives. How many times do we meet with people and leave saying, we should do this more often? We should see each other more often. And that is because you leave with that really good, energized feeling from reconnecting with friends. In these areas, we have talked about how they can improve our mental clarity, how they can improve our physical well being, how they can reduce stress and anxiety, how they can reduce depression symptoms, and how they can build self confidence and re energize us. These areas are all so important in our life, and it's up to us which ones we choose to incorporate. Sometimes just choosing a new project that you want to do or accomplish, whether it's finishing that long book that I just started, or checking and learning into something that you've always been curious about, or starting a new project around the house that you can really throw yourself into to change up that environment. All of these things help us from getting into that funk. So if you see that your routine is getting monotonous, predictable, boring, and you find yourself maybe laying in bed a little bit longer every day, not knowing what you're going to do when you get up in the morning, think about what you want to accomplish. What would get you re energized? What could you get excited about again? And throw yourself into that project. I, for one, like to make a list of things that I want to accomplish or I want to do. And then I choose one of those when I find myself getting bored, and that will re energize me. Let me know in the comments, have you fallen into this funk? Have you fallen into a boredom with your day to day life? And what do you do for yourself when you feel this coming on? How do you put up that roadblock and turn that situation around? I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope that you will give me a thumbs up and stick around for more content on frugal living and retirement and simple living. And I'm so thankful you are all here. I hope to see you soon.